All right, let's dive into Act 1, Scene 4 of Macbeth.
Sounds good.
We're in the royal court, fresh off a huge battle.
Right.
King Duncan's handing out rewards. Seems happy enough, right?
Yeah, you'd think so.
But there's a lot going on beneath the surface, especially with Macbeth.
Oh, absolutely. It's a really interesting scene because Shakespeare uses it to set the stage
Yeah.
for the tragedy that's coming. Like, Duncan is praising Macbeth,
Right.
calling him worthiest cousin, going on and on about his loyalty and bravery.
And that absolute trust line, wow.
Oh, yeah, he says, there's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust.
It's chilling when you know what Macbeth is really thinking.
Right.
Thanks to those witches and his little soliloquies,
Yeah.
we're in on the secret.
Exactly. And that idea that appearances can be deceiving, it's key to this whole play.
It really is. Everything seems so bright and cheerful here.
On the surface.
But underneath, ambition, darkness, you know.
It's like a beautiful apple, but rotten at the core.
Ooh, good analogy. And speaking of rotten cores, Duncan drops a bombshell.
Oh, yeah.
He names his son Malcolm, Prince of Cumberland, the heir to the throne.
Huge turning point.
Right.
Remember the witches told Macbeth he would be king?
Yep.
Well, now there's a big obstacle in his way.
It's like someone threw a wrench right into his plans.
Absolutely.
And we see how Macbeth reacts in aside. He says, "The Prince of Cumberland, that is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies."
Yeah, that aside gives us the sudden glimpse into his dark thoughts.
It really does.
It's striking how he frames his options. Like, he has to either give up on his ambition completely, fall down,
Right.
or find a way to get rid of Malcolm. And the way he says, or leap,
Oh, yeah.
it suggests he's already leaning towards something sinister.
He's not messing around. It's like Duncan naming Malcolm has unleashed something in him.
Definitely.
Like he was a war hero a minute ago, now he's plotting murder.
And for students, junior high, high school,
Yeah.
understanding that conflict within Macbeth, that's key.
I think so, too.
He's wrestling with his conscience. He knows he should be loyal,
He should.
but that desire for power, it's overwhelming him.
Makes him such a fascinating character, so tragic.
Absolutely.
In that inner turmoil, you see it in his soliloquy later in the scene.
Ah.
Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. What's he really saying there?
He's asking the universe to ignore his evil thoughts.
Wow.
He knows how dark and dangerous they are, wants to keep them hidden, even from the stars.
Interesting that he knows, even at this point,
Right.
he's aware of the darkness inside him, not oblivious to it.
It seems like he just can't resist it.
It's like he's terrified and excited at the same time by what might happen.
Yeah, I get that.
And even though he wants to hide these thoughts, Shakespeare puts them out there for the audience.
He does.
It makes us part of his journey. We know what he's thinking.
It draws us in.
To his web of ambition and deceit.
For sure. And in contrast to Macbeth, we have Banquo,
Oh, yeah, good point.
loyal, humble, content with what he has.
Remember what he says to Duncan. There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Yeah, it's such a simple line.
But so revealing.
He's basically saying any reward he gets, it benefits the king and the kingdom.
He's not after glory or power for himself.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder how
Really?
these two, they started out as friends, equals, right?
Right.
How will they handle what's about to happen?
It's a good question.
Will Banquo's integrity be enough to protect him? Or will he get caught in the crossfire?
It's one of the things that keeps me hooked on this play, but before we move on,
Yeah,
it's amazing how much Shakespeare packs into this one scene.
I know, right?
Loyalty, ambition, fate, appearances, it's all there.
It's all there. And it's so well crafted, this dialogue, so tense.
And yet he makes it accessible,
He really does.
even for younger audiences, junior high, high school.
It's remarkable, even if it's your first time reading Macbeth. There's so much to grab your attention, spark your imagination. It's amazing how Shakespeare uses contrast to
Yeah.
show us, like, the different paths Macbeth and Banquo could take.
Right.
You have Macbeth thinking about murder already.
Yeah.
And then Banquo, he's genuinely happy for Malcolm, still loyal to the king.
It's like he's showing us the road not taken, you know?
Yeah.
Like if Macbeth had chosen differently,
Right. If he had chosen loyalty,
things might have turned out, well, less bloody.
definitely less tragic.
But instead, he's letting his ambition lead the way.
Down a dark and dangerous path, that's for sure.
Speaking of dark, that next soliloquy.
Oh, yeah, the one after everyone leaves?
Yeah. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, "You let that be," which the eye fears when it is done to see.
It's a lot, but there's so much in there.
So much. So he's saying he wants to do something so awful.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even want to see it himself.
Right. He wants his eye to wink while his hand does the deed.
It's kind of chilling, isn't it?
It is. And I think it shows how ambition can really mess with your mind.
Yeah.
Macbeth is already feeling the guilt, the fear.
Even before he's actually done anything.
Yeah, it's like he's trapped in a nightmare.
And speaking of nightmares, there's so much imagery of darkness and light in this scene.
Oh, for sure.
We have Duncan talking about stars and brightness.
Right, and Macbeth wants to hide from the light,
It's like they're in two different worlds.
even though they're standing right there together.
Exactly. It's such a powerful symbol.
The moral struggle inside Macbeth, absolutely.
He's pulled in two directions, light and darkness.
Honor and loyalty versus ambition and power.
And right now, it seems like darkness is winning.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
You mentioned earlier how accessible this scene is.
Yeah.
Even for younger audiences. What makes it so relatable?
Well, I think the themes, ambition, betrayal, good versus evil, those are universal. Everyone experiences them in some way.
Even if it's not on this grand Shakespearean scale.
Exactly. And the way he presents these themes through the characters, their conflicts, their motivations, it just draws you in.
It's true. And the pace of this scene, the way it moves, public celebration 1 minute, then these private thoughts. Right, like we're getting glimpses into their real feelings.
It creates that dramatic irony, which is so engaging.
Like when Duncan's praising Macbeth, talking about trust, and we know Macbeth's plotting against him, it's like watching a train wreck. You can't look away.
I know what you mean. It's so suspenseful.
And I think that's why this play is still so relevant.
I agree.
These basic human emotions, ambition, jealousy, fear.
It taps right into them in a way that's both complex and, unsettling. And it's timeless,
Yeah.
Even though it was written so long ago. The themes, the characters, they still resonate today.
We still see ambition gone wrong, betrayal.
Like the struggle between good and evil, it's all around us.
It's a reminder that human nature, it doesn't really change.
Doesn't change much at all.
But we've talked a lot about Macbeth and Banquo.
Right.
What about King Duncan? He seems so trusting in this scene.
Interesting question.
He seems almost naive. Is he really that oblivious to the danger?
Or is there something else going on?
Yeah. Is he just clueless?
It's the big question, right? On the surface, he's kind, generous.
Yeah, giving out all those rewards.
But if you look closer, there are hints.
Hints of what?
That he might be, more shrewd than he appears.
Okay, I like where this is going. More to Duncan than meets the eye.
Exactly. Like when he announces Malcolm as Prince of Cumberland,
Yeah.
He doesn't just blurt it out.
He does kind of set the stage.
Right. He talks about the line of succession.
Making it about the good of the kingdom.
It's almost like he's anticipating a reaction.
Trying to head off any trouble.
Exactly. He's playing politics.
It's a dangerous game in this world, especially with all these powerful Thanes.
Oh, definitely. And Macbeth is one of the most powerful.
So all that praise Duncan heaps on Macbeth.
It could be a way to keep him close.
Make him feel valued.
Secure his loyalty.
But wouldn't that make Duncan a bit of a manipulator?
It could be seen that way.
Like if he knows about Macbeth's ambition.
And he's using these tactics.
It's kind of cynical, isn't it?
It is, and it raises questions about leadership.
Like, can you be a good king? A truly good king?
In a world where everyone wants power.
And are you always going to have to manipulate people to stay in control?
It's tough. There are no easy answers.
And I think that's what makes Shakespeare's characters so fascinating.
They're complex.
They have these desires, these motivations.
That often clash with each other.
It makes you think about human nature.
The dark side.
Even in people who seem good.
Absolutely. And the choices we make.
And the consequences.
Like Macbeth, he could have chosen a different path.
But his ambition led him to ruin.
It did, so we're back to that question.
About Duncan, right.
Is he truly oblivious to Macbeth?
Or is he playing some deeper game?
I don't think there's one right answer.
I like that Shakespeare leaves it open.
For us to think about, to debate.
It's like we're all part of the mystery.
Trying to figure out these characters.
And their motives.
And that's why this scene, Act 1, Scene 4.
It's such a great start to the play.
It sets everything up, the players, the conflicts.
And it leaves you with this feeling like something bad is coming.
Oh, definitely a sense of foreboding.
Well said. So as we finish up our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one last thought.
Okay.
Pay attention to the language, the imagery.
The little hints Shakespeare gives us.
About who these characters really are.
There's so much there beneath the surface.
And the more you explore it, the more you'll discover about this amazing play.
It's a journey worth taking.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.